It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show. Happy Tuesday, and thank you so much for joining us on this day as we commemorate World Vitiligo Day. And this day was established to raise awareness for the skin disease vitiligo, a disfiguring autoimmune disease that causes white pigmentation on the skin. And this day has become even bigger and bigger each year, with vitiligo sufferers, their families and doctors making a concerted effort to talk about the disease, to raise money for research and educate physicians on how to best take care of patients with vitiligo. And here to help us understand the skin disease, please welcome Dermatologist Nomphelo Gantsho and her vitiligo patient, Sandiso Lawrence. Great to have both of you here, and thanks for joining us to talk about this.
Thank you.
A very important topic to unpack, and I think a lot of people need to understand exactly what vitiligo is. So Nomphelo, I'm going to start with you. Do you mind telling us, what is vitiligo and what are the different types that's available?
Okay, so vitiligo is basically, we don't know the exact cause of it, but it is an autoimmune disease that attacks your melanocytes, which are the cells that gives you the color. And then you don't produce that melanin, then you ended up with white patches on your skin. So it can be all over, and it can start at any age. So the different types of it, you have your segmental, where you only have one side that is affected, maybe your face, one side, or your leg. And you have non-segmental vitiligo, where you have like different patches on different areas on your body. So those are the different types.
And this is the same, I guess, autoimmune disorder that Michael Jackson so famously had, that people, or it's been reported that was the case. But let's talk to you, sir, Sandiso.
Yes.
How did you discover that you had vitiligo?
I discovered a while ago, plus minus, I think, 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
And I had just a mark here. And I was not even worried about it. I was like, what is this happening now? And I just go to work and do my work. It's normal. And I spoke to my principal, and I said to me, hey, we need to see a doctor. We don't know what's the thing. And it started to grow a little bit.
When you say a mark, are you talking about that? So just a little mark of pigmentation?
It came on a night, like a little bit bigger, not that small size, but a little bit bigger, and then it just came out. On one night, I was like, on the mirror, what's happening? What is this? And I had to go to the doctor to find out. And they couldn't identify what is it. And I've tried different kinds of medicine. A lot. And I mean, there's a lot of different medicines out there. Some of them mixed with clay and other things like that. It could not help. And I went to Google to find out, where can I get a dermatologist? I've tried a lot of them around the bush. I could not get any help. Until I went to Google again, and I found the best of the best.
Aye, Dr. Gantsho, yes.
And there was a lot of lists there, and I just picked it up. And when I went to her, and she asked me, how did you pick me up? How did you know? I said, maybe it's just God, I just picked it up. I went straight.
Divine intervention.
Yes.
All right.
Well, I'm looking at your skin now. Are you wearing makeup? Do you cover it up, or is it just the here in the front for you?
No, the time after I went to the doctor, then she helped me, and then it disappeared.
Okay.
And I was happy to see it disappear, because when things come out in your skin, you get frustrated and angry. What is this now? And especially with the skin, because some of our skin is very sensitive. After it disappeared, and I had some few on my hands also. See, there are some of that I'm still fighting. As you can see, there. That one is a stubborn one.
Is it a stubborn one?
Sometimes you feel like, let me take a knife. Throw the skin out and then something different. But now you just need to develop yourself. Stay positive, then you will know everything will be okay. For me personally, I'm going to defeat this. Slowly, but surely.
Dr. Gantsho, what are the causes of vitiligo? Is it something linked to your genetics? Is it hereditary? How does it come about?
Okay, so we said it's an autoimmune disease. So if one has got an autoimmune disease, chances that they can get vitiligo are high. And also, if in your family you have someone that has got an autoimmune disease, it's also known to affect people that have got thyroid disease and some people that has got alopecia areata. So there is that think that if you have someone or you have another autoimmune disease you can have. Some people, usually it's from chemicals from where they work that can cause that, and some people, they say from sun damage they can also get that.
Okay, so there are multiple causes, but we'll discover more about vitiligo as we continue our conversation very shortly on the other side of this short pause.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, we're back again for this Tuesday morning's medical chat with Dr. Nomphelo Gantsho and her patient Sandiso Lawrence, who suffers from vitiligo. And of course, today we commemorate World Vitiligo Day, a day that's been created to raise awareness, to raise funds and research, and educate physicians on how to treat it better. And we're discovering all kinds of new information that we didn't previously know about vitiligo from Dr. Gantsho and Sandiso as well. So we do appreciate you being here and chatting to us about this.
Nomphelo, I want to know from you, how common is vitiligo, and is it a serious, is it very serious?
Okay, so vitiligo is 0.5 to 1% of the population is affected. It is harmless disease. However, it is a life-altering disease, so it causes a lot of psychological impact to the patient that are involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no specific race or anyone that's more prone to it?
Anyone can get it from all different races, but it has more impact on people with dark skin, because on people with white skin you don't really see it, because vitiligo you get your depigmentation, so you lose your pigment. So with people of color, then it's easy to be identified.
Yeah. Sandy, so earlier on you were taking us through the process of how you discovered you had vitiligo, and you know, it was first just a mark over here and then it's turned into that stubborn one over there. But talk to us about the psychological impact it had on you when you discovered that you had vitiligo and how it's affected you now.
Basically for me, you see, when I discovered I've got this vitiligo, what I did first, after I met my doctor, and then she gave me a paper. See, I'm a person that would like to go and do some research. After she gave me, I went to online to study what is it causing it. Yeah. And I was like, okay, now I need to think now. Maybe someone in the family, as she told me before, but when I asked at home, now there's nobody who had this before. Maybe grand Coco and so on. Those older people. And then psychologically, I was like, okay. You see, I'm a teacher. I work with people, I work with kids. So for me, I didn't have that situation whereby, let me cover this, let me cover that. How do I feel? So I accepted it, and I told myself, I'm going to treat this. And I'm going to go through, and I want to stay positive with this thing. I know some people might say, it's stressing me. I don't see people go around, wear this and that, wear long sleeve, cover this, gloves, and so on. No, for me, it was like, okay, go with it, be positive, try and get... I can tell you I spend so much money on trying to treat this thing. So much money. So much money, a lot. And I'm not going to stop. Because I want what I want. I want my skin to come back. So I'm not going to be like going around and thinking that maybe I'm just giving up. Because you see, we have social media also. People like to post things for something. I'm like, okay, shame. She's in the same position with me. They just say, okay, you know what? Do this, do that. Go there. You will get help. So otherwise, some people might get stressed. I didn't get that much stress for me because I'm a strong guy. I'm a tough guy. I'm a tough guy.
And you're confident.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Dr. Gantsho, I want to know from you, how quickly can vitiligo spread? Because I imagine each case is different, because you said it depends on the type of vitiligo that they get, but how quickly can it spread?
So we talked about the different types of vitiligo, non-segmental and segmental. So with segmental, usually it continues for like a year and then it stops. But non-segmental vitiligo, it can continue for quite some time. I cannot really say for how long or how far does it spread on your body. Each and every person is different. You said it's an autoimmune disease, so it depends on how active the disease is, and then it can spread.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're going to take a brief pause from our conversation. When we come back, we'll find out more about vitiligo, including some of the symptoms one might be prone to get if you have vitiligo, and then we'll get into the treatment options that are available out there. And hopefully we can also delve into more of this pool of confidence that Sandiso just has. He's a beaming light of inspiration on this Tuesday morning. Stick around with us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Well, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's the 25th of June, which is World Vitiligo Day. Now, welcome to it if you've just joined our medical conversation. It's an autoimmune disease that causes white pigmentation on the skin. And we are joined by dermatologist Dr. Nomphelo Gantsho and vitiligo patient Sandiso also joining us on the couch. As we unpack this topic, it's been very informative. And Dr. Gantsho, you also mentioned that this is a harmless disease, but it does cause psychological effects, and it has many effects to it. But when it comes to the symptoms of vitiligo, does there, for example, come itchiness or sensitivity with the skin changing?
Okay, so most people when they get vitiligo, it goes by unnoticed and it can get worse and worse without them noticing because there are no skin signs associated with it. However, some people do complain that sometimes they do get some itching on their skin. And another thing, remember we're losing color here, which is our melanin, and our melanin does protect us against the sun. So for people that don't have that protection, they are easily, like they get burned so easy. So it's important that one must protect themselves when they have vitiligo.
I'm glad you mentioned sun exposure because some people might be prone to think that because my skin is depigmenting and getting lighter, maybe I should get into the sun in order to make it darker. So what would you have to say about that?
So the sun does help because one of the treatments that we use will be phototherapy, which is an exposure to the sun. And so what happens is you have the inflammation on your skin. So what the sun does, it stops that inflammation. But then you have to go outside under the correct hours, the right time, and also it has to be timed. So you cannot just go out and walk any time of the day. You're going to get burnt.
Yeah, because
so
UV exposure could also...
Yeah, you need a little bit of the sun to help with your vitiligo. That is why we use the phototherapy.
Okay. Sandiso, I want to know from you, what's your skincare routine like now?
For now, it's just, I didn't change any cream that I use. I've used the same thing. But after that, I've applied the Dovate ointment that she recommended, and I'm using it. And then whenever I need to get it, I have to come to her, obviously, because you can't just go to the pharmacy and get it, because it's very restricted. So you must have a prescription to get that. And then I'm using that in the morning and then in the evening. So I've just applied, then it will just dip in and disappear on the skin. So by following that procedure, you will see a progress coming up, and you will start to be like smiling and like, okay, I'm happy now, I see it disappearing. Although somewhere, somehow, it can start to come up. I haven't told my doctor, I think a few weeks back, Dr. Gantsho, and another mark came, I think, on the right-hand side here. And I didn't inform you. What I did, I've used the same ointment. And it disappeared immediately. I said, you go away. Because if you come back, I'm going to apply again. Something like that. So I'm always looking at on my face, making sure it's only the hands and sometimes on my face. But basically, the hands are the right-hand side of the problematic. But I'm still getting there. So I'm using that ointment. I'm not going to change it. I will change it when I see that, okay, now there's no difference because, you see, then I have to go back to her.
Okay.
And Dr. Gantsho, if you could maybe give some tips of what one can do in terms of skincare at home in order to better manage it. Let's say, for instance, if you haven't yet gone to see a professional who's consulted you and prescribed certain medications and ointments, are there basic things you could do at home, like perhaps maybe scaling back on some of the more chemical-heavy products that you're using?
Okay, so one of the things that makes vitiligo to spread is trauma. So if one gets trauma, it can result to one getting more patches of vitiligo. So it's important that one needs to protect themselves from trauma. And also sun protection, we've mentioned that. So it's important that one must use some sun protection.
SPF sunscreen, put it on, even if you're darker, black don't
even
crack
if it's
is not
winter.
a thing.
Even if it's winter, you have to. And it's important, one of the creams that he mentioned, it's a topical steroid, corticosteroid. So that's what you use to stop the inflammation. And there are other immunomodulators, one that can use to help to control the inflammation. And those you'll use maybe on the face, other sensitive areas, you can use those ones.
Great advice. Thank you very much, Dr. Gantsho. We're going to keep you and Sandiso here just for a little bit longer. We love engaging with you, and we hope that you find this to be an enlightening conversation, which we will continue very shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's a Tuesday morning. We're back again with Dr. Gantsho and Sandiso, and it's Medical Tuesday Chat. We're talking about vitiligo because that's what today is all about. World Vitiligo Day. We're talking about this autoimmune disease, how it affects you, the treatment options, the diagnosis around it, and also some very, I think, great inspiration that's come from the media industry in the sense that a lot of the media, the fashion world, are embracing vitiligo. A lot of modeling campaigns have seen models with vitiligo being put front and center.
And it's beautiful to see these campaigns. I've seen some beautiful fashion. The magazines are embracing it. And Sandiso, from your side, how do you feel when you see campaigns like this?
You see, with that person that has got this this vitiligo, and you feel like, oh, now you're getting to an important person also. So and you feel like now, okay, I'm being recognized, not being left out. You see, sometimes you feel like, oh, I won't be able to do that because now, because of this thing, you like to step back. But now, if you're a proud man like me, you will go forward. You will go forward. You will go forward because for me, I don't worry about things. If I want to do something, I go for it. No matter whatever I have on my skin, whatever impact I have on my skin, so I will go for it. Even if it might be something like, okay, let's have something that you need to go to be on camera, something like that. Maybe I won't say, oh, I want, because camera going to pick up that. We know this camera is very strong, boss. They pick up everything on the skin. So I don't worry, I just go.
Dude, you are so ready. You are so ready. You need your own show, man. You are so ready. And somebody actually even asked on social media whether vitiligo is the same disorder that Mamlele Tikhumalo has. We know Mamlele Tikhumalo from Sarafina fame.
Yes.
Is it the same disorder that she has?
That's exactly what we're talking about today.
Wow.
Yeah, so she has been bold enough to come out and show it, because she has been having it for quite a number of years.
Yeah.
And now to see her, I think it's 2 years now, that she has started embracing her skin. So it's lovely. Yeah.
But I know you also mentioned in the break that we had, there are various ways it's being embraced and being brought into society through, I mean, toys. You've mentioned that there are various ways people are doing that.
Yes, my daughter mentioned to me, it's like, you know what, Mama? Barbie has also come out with a doll that has got vitiligo. So now it's easy for kids to understand what it is. And for those ones that are gamers, I know with Sims as well, they do have characters that can have vitiligo. So
Very interesting.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Let's quickly talk about treatment options and whether it is ultimately curable. I mean, when we talk autoimmune diseases, not very often do you speak about a cure, but rather a management or a treatment of the disease.
Yeah, so we control vitiligo. So there's different treatments that one can use depending on the body surface area that is involved. If it's just small patches, you can use the topical corticosteroids, which is something that you can rub on your skin to stop that inflammation. And there are some immunomodulators as well that one can use. Those we'll use usually on the face and on the sensitive areas. And then if one has got a widespread body surface area of vitiligo, then we continue, we do a phototherapy. So that's the sun exposure that we're talking about, but under controlled environment, we do that. And then for some people, especially on the hands, the stubborn areas, you can also do some surgery, you can do some skin graft. But the problem with skin graft is that overall skin doesn't look good. And also it cannot take if the inflammation is still very strong. Another thing that one can do is like needling. One can do needling. So by needling, you're trying to shift those melanocytes that are still active in the active areas to the areas that have got the white. So yeah, so we try and control the disease, not really like cure it completely, because once it's happening, it can continue.
Wow. Wow, so various treatment options that are available out there.
And I know earlier when we spoke about, can it spread across the body? You used, through trauma. Can we unpack that a little bit more? When you say trauma, what exactly is it? Physical? Is it emotional? Anxiety, stress? Does that impact the spreading of vitiligo?
Okay, so just stress on its own, it can affect any skin condition that one has. But now the trauma I was talking about, it was physical trauma. So if one has got a patch of vitiligo and then you knock yourself, then it can make that patch of vitiligo to spread furthermore. Or other people, when they heal by depigmentation. So maybe on the shins, kids that play the sports and all.
As well as if you get a cut also. You see, I'm the man who like to be busy at home, wash my car, do that. And if you get a cut, when that part is healed, because there are cells that heal that part, I normally use a Zambak to heal it. Once it heals, it starts to heal, and then after that, when I say, oh, there's vertigo pitching up, taking a chance there on that same spot. So you must look after yourself. Must after all the time. Because if you don't look after yourself, you just probably do things, get cut and so on and so on. It's going to go there straight away. I don't know what causes that. I don't know really. I must just do some research more. I like to do research.
Well, you've got the very best in doctors right there helping you out, Sandiso.
Why when I get a cut or something, when it's healing, the vitiligo jumps in.
Yeah, but just like she
Something
said,
like
it's about the trauma.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But Dr. Gantsho, yes?
I'm sorry, I feel like we need to give Sandiso the stage quickly because the stage is yours here on SABC3. Since it is World Vitiligo Day, what would you like to say to those who currently have discovered it or are going through it or not sure what to do?
Yeah.
You know, the best thing is the first time if you don't know what's happening, you need to see the doctor. Basically, it's a skin condition, so they must go to a dermatologist. For me, I didn't know that I have to go to a dermatologist. Just go to a normal doctor. You know, a lot of doctors you just go to a doctor, and they will give you something. And the one say, I don't know. They'll give you something. So, and if that just doesn't work, then you have to go to a skin doctor. For the people out there who still struggling, I know there are a lot of people there. And some of them, I used to see them when I go to mall. It's like the whole time, like, oh, and the person is happy, doesn't even cover that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shame. I feel like, I can advise the person, what have you tried before? Just go and see Dr. Gantsho, maybe she might help, you know.
Yeah.
Don't give up. That's what I can say. Yeah. Don't give up out there. Don't give up. And don't hide yourself.
Oh,
don't hide yourself.
Don't
hide yourself.
There we go.
Because you need to stay positive. If you're going to be negative, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. And if anything, drink from this man's cup of confidence. Thank you very much, Dr. Gantsho. Thank you, Sandiso. Thank you very much.